numbers. Now, the first type of number is a prime number. And a prime number, as we all know, is a number which has only two factors, 1 and itself. So, and on the right side here now, we've given you a list of all the prime numbers. And like starting off with 2, and remember 2 is the first prime number. And apparently 2 is the only even number which is prime. And the second number is 3 there again, only two factors, 1 and 3. 5, again the factors 1 and 5. 7, 1 and 7, and so on. So all the list is given here for you to memorize and make sure that you do not get these wrong. And then again you have at the bottom, you have prime numbers to 100, right? All shown in blue here, like 2, 3, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. Now let's recap everything that I've said here. And so a prime number has only two factors, 1 and itself, can only be divided by 1 and itself, and the first prime number is 2. And lots of people make mistakes with this. 1 is not a prime number because 1 has only one factor. So the first prime number is 2, and 2 is the only even number that is prime. And then you have a list of all the prime numbers at the bottom as 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. And you should learn this by heart so you don't have any problems with these questions. The next one is square numbers. And the square number is a number which is multiplied by itself. For example, 1 times 1 gives you 1. 2 times 2 gives you 4. 3 times 3 gives you 9. So all these 1, 4, 9 are square numbers. And we've given you all the square numbers till 100 here. So a square of a number is a number multiplied by itself. Like 6 times 6 is 36. And as you can see here, we've shown 36 as 6 to the power 2. And the 2 indicates that it's a square number. And again here 4 to the power 2. The square of 4 is 16. And the square of 5 is 25. The square of 6 is 36. And all perfect squares are squares of whole numbers. And the square root of a number n is a number that gives n when multiplied by itself. An example here, 36. The square root of 36 is 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. Now, we've shown you at the bottom here the sign for square root. So the opposite of a square is the square root, right? So if you take, for example, here 25, the square root of 25 is 5. Similarly, the square root of 81 is 92. So recapping this, the square of a number is a number multiplied by itself. 6 is square of 6 is 6 times 6. And perfect squares are squares of whole numbers. And square root of 36 is 6 times 6 is 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. And the sign for square root is this sign shown here. Now, next number is a cube number. And a cube number is a number which forms, for example, 2 times 2. When a number is multiplied twice by itself, like 2 times 2 times 2 gives you here 2 times 2, 4, 8. And so 8 is a cube number. And you can write this with a 3 at the top here as an index. So 2 to the power 3 is 2 cubed. And at the bottom here, we are given all the cube numbers. So the cube of 1 is 1, cube of 2 is 8, and a cube of 3 is 27, and so on. And for comparison here now, I've actually put the square numbers to the top. So you see the square numbers, all the square numbers at the top here, 1, 4, 9, 16. And at the bottom, you have the cube numbers. So a square of 1, this is square of 2, which is 4, square of 3, and a cube of 1, and a cube of 2, and a cube of 3. So the square numbers at the top and cube numbers at the bottom. Now let's recap all this that we have learned. So the cube of a number is a number multiplied by itself twice. Now, the cube of 4 is 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And see the chart for examples here. So these are all your examples. So please, I would suggest you memorize some of these numbers at least till 216. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cube number 216. So, I mean, those square numbers are fairly easy, but the cube numbers, at least memorize the first 4 or 5 cube numbers. And on the right, we've also been shown that what a cube looks like is 2 times 2 times 2. Now, let's look at triangular numbers. Now, triangular numbers are numbers, as you can see here. And this is a list of the triangle numbers 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, and so on. So, and it's simply the number of dots in each triangular pattern. So you have the first triangle number with 1 dot, the second triangle numbers with, as you can see, 3 dots, third triangle numbers with 6 dots, and then 4 dots, 10 dots for fourth triangle number, and the fifth triangle number is 15 dots. Now we show you how we derive this. So the first triangular number is 1 dot, and the second triangular number, here second triangle has another row, and it makes 1 plus 2, which is 3. Now everything will fall into place eventually when you see exactly how the sequence works. And the third triangle number has another row with 3 extra dots, making 1 plus 2 plus 3. And as you can see here, it's a summation of numbers, like 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. And then you can see 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. Now, do you understand the sequence here? Now, if you see you want to find the next one, the fifth triangle numbers, you would add 5 to the 10. And then similarly, you would add 6 and 7 and 8 and so on. Now, let's look at the formula here. And really, you don't need this formula, especially for your exams. But I've just put it on as finding the nth term. So if you take up a number from here, let's take 1, 2, 3, right, third and fourth. And the fourth number here is fourth triangle number is 10. So all you simply have to do is substitute n for 4. So if you put 4 for n here, and I'm going to write on it, so I'm going to put 4 for n here and 4 for n there. So as you can see, you solve the bracket first. 5 times 4 is 20, and divide by 2 is 10. And you get your 4 triangle numbers. Similarly, if you want to find fifth triangle numbers, put n as 5, and sixth triangle number, put n as 6. So it is quite a good rule, and if you can remember it, it will be very good. Otherwise, it's a summation of numbers, and the triangles actually show you what how the dots are formed, and so that is also easy.